Imagine waking up in a palace so big you need a golf cart just to reach breakfast, or flying your private jet to check on a casino you built on a mountain. In Malaysia, extreme wealth doesn't just exist, it quietly runs the country. These are families who turned sugar into empires, concrete into skylines, and silence into billions. Welcome to the 10 richest families in Malaysia, where every name comes with a story, and every story begins with power. Number 10, the Lim family, masters of the Genting Empire. High in the misty mountains of Malaysia sits a city that never sleeps, a place where fortunes are made, dice never stop rolling, and clouds drift past casino windows. Welcome to Genting Highlands, the kingdom built by the Lim family. It all began with Lim Tong, a Chinese immigrant with a dream as wild as the jungle that surrounded him, to build a world-class casino on top of a mountain. People thought he was insane. The terrain was treacherous, the weather unpredictable, and financing almost impossible. But Lim saw what others didn't. That luxury could rise above the clouds. Decades later, that crazy idea became the Genting Group, a global leisure empire spanning casinos in Malaysia, Singapore, London, and New York. What started as one resort is now a multi-billion-dollar dynasty, complete with theme parks, hotels, shopping plazas, and even energy ventures. Here's what makes their empire truly untouchable. Genting still holds Malaysia's only legal casino license. Every spin of the roulette wheel, every jackpot, every high roller bet, all of it flows straight into the Lim fortune. From fog-covered hills to flashing neon lights, the Lims turned a mountain gamble into one of Asia's most unshakable dynasties. Proof that in business, sometimes the biggest risks really do roll lucky. Number 9, the Tay family, public bank's dividend dynasty. While some dynasties built empires with casinos and concrete, the Tay family built theirs with discipline, one calculated loan at a time. In 1966, Tan Sri Tay Hong Piao founded Public Bank with a vision that sounded almost boring by comparison. Serve ordinary Malaysians, price risk carefully, and never chase trends. Yet over the decades, that quiet philosophy became a money-printing machine. Public Bank grew into one of Southeast Asia's most respected financial institutions, known for its low costs, low risk, and sky-high dividends. While other banks gambled on speculative lending or tech fads, Public Bank stayed laser-focused on fundamentals. The result? A fortress balance sheet, loyal shareholders, and a reputation for weathering every storm. From the Asian financial crisis to modern fintech disruption. Even after Tay Hong Piao's passing in 2022, his family remains deeply involved, preserving a culture built on prudence and performance. They don't flaunt yachts or palaces. Their luxury is found in compound interest, the kind that grows quietly until it towers over flashier fortunes. In a world obsessed with hype and headlines, the Tay family proved that boring is beautiful when it's this profitable. Number 8, the Yo family, architects of modern Malaysia. Every great city has a family behind its skyline, and in Kuala Lumpur, that family is the Yos. What began in 1955 as a small construction outfit building rural roads soon evolved into a global powerhouse, YTL Corporation. The founder, Yo Tiong Lei, started with cement and grit, but it was his son, Francis Yo, who turned concrete dreams into a diversified empire. Under Francis's leadership, YTL expanded far beyond Malaysia's borders, acquiring power plants, water utilities, luxury resorts, and even making headlines by buying Wessex Water in the United Kingdom. It was a bold move that shocked global investors, but it paid off massively, cementing YTL as a world-class conglomerate. Unlike other moguls who seek the spotlight, the Yos prefer silence over showmanship. Their hotels in Europe, Japan, and Australia speak louder than any interview ever could. Every property reflects their belief in blending Eastern values with Western elegance, a philosophy that's turned architecture into art. Today, YTL's influence runs through the veins of Malaysia, from the lights that power homes to the towers that define the skyline. The Yo family didn't just construct buildings, they built a legacy that turned infrastructure into identity. Number 7, the Kuok family, the Sugar Kings turned global titans. Before Malaysia had skyscrapers or stock exchanges, it had sugar, and one man who turned it into gold. That man was Robert Kuok, the founder of the Kuok Group and the architect of one of Asia's most powerful business empires. In the 1950s, Kuok began trading basic commodities, sugar, rice, and flour, but his strategy was anything but simple. He didn't just sell goods, he built supply chains. From sugar mills to shipping routes, he controlled every step, transforming volatility into opportunity. As the empire grew, Kuok expanded into palm oil, hotels, real estate, and logistics, creating a vertically integrated network that stretched across Malaysia, Hong Kong, and China. His flagship brand, Shangri-La Hotels, redefined Asian luxury, while Kerry Group and Wilmar International quietly dominated global food and trading markets. Today, the Kuok family's wealth, estimated around $11 to $12 billion, is just one measure of their power. Their real influence lies in governance, precision, and timing. They don't chase headlines or fads. They move early, move silently, and win quietly. From sacks of sugar to five-star suites, the Kuok family's rise is a masterclass in patience. Proof that sometimes the most powerful voice in business is the one you barely hear. Number 6. The Johor Royal Family, the monarchy that became a corporation. Most monarchies sit on thrones, this one sits on a portfolio. The Johor Royal Family has ruled for over a century, but unlike ceremonial royals elsewhere, they turned their crown into a billion-dollar enterprise. At the center is Sultan Ibrahim Iskandar, a ruler who blends old-world power with new-age capitalism. Their fortune comes from land, palm oil, telecoms, and infrastructure. But what truly sets them apart is how seamlessly they've turned heritage into high-yield business. From sprawling palaces and private jets to stakes in mega developments linking Johor to Singapore, the Sultan's reach extends far beyond royal walls. And then there's the collection. Over 300 luxury and vintage cars, including one infamous artifact, a 1936 Mercedes-Benz gifted to his great-grandfather by Adolf Hitler. It's a bizarre, almost unbelievable relic of history, a reminder that royal wealth often carries the weight of centuries. Yet beneath the flash, Sultan Ibrahim is pragmatic. He invests heavily in energy, housing, and cross-border projects, positioning Johor as Malaysia's southern economic powerhouse. This is royalty reimagined, not just ruling by bloodline, but competing in boardrooms. In Johor, the monarchy doesn't just wave from balconies, it owns the skyline. Number 5. The Lim Family, from sugar to palm oil powerhouse. Not every fortune starts with gold, some begin with sugar. For the Lim family, sweetness became strategy, and a single commodity became the cornerstone of one of Malaysia's greatest corporate dynasties. Their rise began in the mid-20th century when Robert Kuok's relatives and business partners helped shape Malaysia's sugar industry. From those roots, Tan Sri Lee Shin Cheng branched off, founding IOI Group, a company that would pivot from sugar to a far more profitable crop, palm oil. While others saw plantations as risky, the Lees saw potential. They mastered the entire chain, from refining to global exports, turning palm oil into the engine of Southeast Asia's consumer economy. Today, IOI stands among the world's largest producers, supplying ingredients that touch nearly every shelf, from cooking oils to cosmetics. But with scale came scrutiny. Environmentalists targeted palm oil for deforestation and labor issues, yet the Lees adapted, investing in sustainability, certifications, and green reforms that helped safeguard their legacy while keeping profits strong. The result? A family that transformed a simple crop into a global necessity. Proof that in business, it's not what you grow that matters, it's how you evolve. Number 4. The Kuok family, banking, insurance, and real estate web. While some empires are loud, the Kuok family built theirs like a chess game, slow, deliberate, and always 3 moves ahead. At the heart of this dynasty is Tan Sri Kuok Leng Chan, the architect of the Hong Leong Group, one of Malaysia's most diversified private empires. His playbook, simplicity disguised as genius. Own the bank, own the insurer, and own the land they sit on. Through Hong Leong Bank and Hong Leong Financial Group, the Kuoks created a yield-generating core. Around it, they layered insurance, manufacturing, and property ventures, forming an ecosystem that spun cash no matter the economic cycle. In real estate, they mastered timing and patience, buying early, developing carefully, and selling only when the market begged for it. And across the causeway in Singapore, familial ties with the Kuok clan strengthened deal flow and influence, creating one of the most quietly connected families in Southeast Asia. What makes their empire remarkable isn't just scale, it's balance. When markets run hot, their steady income shields them. When they cool, their liquidity strikes. In a country where fortunes rise and fall fast, the Kuok's discipline has made their wealth feel almost engineered. This isn't just business, it's financial architecture, built brick by brick with patience, precision, and perfect timing. Number 3. The Ananda Krishnan family, the silent titans of telco and media. If wealth had a volume knob, Ananda Krishnan would keep his set to mute. The founder of Usaha Tegas Group, Ananda rose from modest beginnings to become one of Malaysia's most influential and mysterious billionaires. His empire doesn't rely on glitz or gambling. Instead, it thrives in the invisible currents of communication, media, and energy. Through companies like Maxis, Astro, and Maysat, the Krishnan family controls much of Malaysia's digital backbone. The calls you make, the shows you stream, the satellites orbiting quietly above. It's the infrastructure of modern life, packaged as entertainment and necessity. Unlike most tycoons, Ananda avoids the spotlight completely. Rarely photographed, almost never interviewed, he built an empire that speaks through signal bars and TV remotes, not press conferences. Even after his passing in 2024, his family and trusted lieutenants have continued his legacy with the same restraint and precision that defined his life. Their secret? Consistency over chaos. Where others chase headlines, the Krishnans built stability, businesses that hum quietly in the background, earning billions while saying nothing at all. Number 2, the Hong Leong and Kuok connection, interlinked powerhouses. Some dynasties build within their borders, others build bridges, and few have done it better than the Hong Leong and Kuok families, whose roots stretch between Malaysia and Singapore. At the core stands Kuok Leng Chan in Malaysia, and his cousin Kuok Leng Beng in Singapore, two halves of a family empire that spans banking, real estate, manufacturing, and hospitality. The strategy is deceptively simple. One side anchors finance, the other shapes skylines. In Malaysia, Hong Leong Bank powers capital through every corner of the economy. Across the border, City Developments Limited, CDL, and the Millennium and Copthorne Hotel Group reshape global property and hospitality. Together, their portfolios stretch from Kuala Lumpur to London, Sydney, and New York. This cross-border alliance is more than coincidence. It's a shared family DNA of timing, precision, and restraint. While most empires chase headlines, the Kuok network prefers shadows and spreadsheets. Their success comes from patience, entering early, exiting smart, and compounding over decades. In a region defined by boom and bust cycles, their discipline made them untouchable. A rare dynasty that transcends nations, proving that true wealth isn't loud, it's strategically connected. Number 1, the Sultanate legacy families, when bloodlines own economies. In Malaysia, power isn't always measured in stock prices or skyscrapers. Sometimes it's written in the royal seal. Across the nation's 9 sultanates, centuries-old monarchies still hold vast estates, private corporations, and influence that stretches deep into politics and industry. These aren't figureheads, they are shareholders of history, and in some cases, owners of entire economies. Their fortunes flow from land, palm oil, banking, and development projects, often inherited across generations. Many of the country's most valuable plots, especially in Johor, Selangor, and Pahang, trace back to royal land grants, making the sultanates permanent stakeholders in Malaysia's growth. But what sets these royal families apart is how they've adapted. Where old monarchies once ruled with ceremony, Malaysians now invest and innovate, turning ancestral wealth into active enterprise. They sit on boards, fund industrial zones, and hold equity in multinational ventures, quietly shaping the nation from both throne and boardroom. Their palaces might glitter with tradition, but their portfolios read like modern conglomerates. Together, these dynasties remind us that in Malaysia, some fortunes aren't built, they're inherited, protected, and reborn with every generation.